Hello everyone, the Clouds here, and today guys I'm gonna review an Exoforce set, well the last middle-sized mecha set from the first wave at least, first wave of 2006, and it's gonna be of course a evil robot mecha set, because I've already reviewed the Thunder Fury set some months ago, and some, of course now there is a second one which is called the Fire Vulture. So let me just adjust this. So the box is quite the same, of course it's kind of darker than the usual good guys box, but still you got the Lego Exoforce logo right there, the head, a close-up of the head of the robot, so here it's called a Devastator. Then of course the red border with here whited FV, which stands excuse me, for Fire Vulture, of course, some shape of the robot itself, the flamethrower, we're gonna see that later on the review, the little logo for the light up brick, and well finally the Fire Vulture itself, on this, well, with behind him the landscape of the side of the robot, as you can see, some bridge and the robot's fortress. So, really cool pictures, and of course, you have still this kind of aspect when you touch the box. It's kind of a 3D, if I can call this like that. Of course, you can open the box. You got here the little comic, which is in fact the comic which came before the comic of the Steel Hunter. This means that first you see, the Fire Vulture destroying and burning some different mechas right there, and then the Fire Vulture counterattack. The Steel Hunter counterattack, and you will see the end of the comic in the Steel Hunter box. Then you got the front picture of the model. This time it's not like a Japanese painting or stuff like that. No, it's much more like a 3D computer aspect. You can see the little polygon and stuff like that. So showing you how this stuff is made, in fact, in 3D. So it's quite cool, and you can really see the difference between the good guys and the bad guys, the humans and the robot, of course. The robots, excuse me. Here it shows you in detail. Well, yes, no, excuse me. It shows you the flamethrower in some negative colors, the gimmick of the flame, of the light up bricks and stuff like that. The fact you can turn the big propeller on the back, but you can see that later on. Here you can see the alternate model, which is called the Overhawk, as you can see. And of course, you could find the instruction on the Exoforce website. Well, at least not all the steps for the instructions, but like 4 steps for all the model, which was sometimes quite hard, and well, sometimes it was okay. Well, but most of the time it was quite hard to build these alternate models with just 4 steps. On this side, you got a 1:1 scale of the robot minifig, but we're gonna see that in later on the review, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna continue. The other side, nothing really interesting. And on the back, well, it's quite the same as the good guys, but this time, of course, it's not the combiner between the 2 good mechs, the Grand Titan and the Steel Hunter, but this time it's between the 2 robot mechas. So this means the Fire Vulture and Son of Fury. Excuse me, it's just all this name which are in my head, and I don't know which one to use. But here you can see the common model, which is quite nice. And there you got the diorama showing you all the sets with in the first wave, except the Supernova, which is more like a special edition with between the 2 waves. Now for the instruction booklet, so nothing really interesting. It's the same. You build the guy, you build the robot in 21 steps. Then you got 2 steps for the stickers. Nothing really interesting. Of course, you're not well. It's up to you to choose if you want to put the stickers or not. Personally, I choose to put them. Excuse me. Then you got the parts list, nothing more interesting. Well, yeah, it's quite the same picture. It shows you all the sets from the first wave, the combiner model, and then some ads for the Lego Club and the win page and stuff like that. So nothing more interesting. Really, a classic instruction booklet. And now for the set itself, so first of all, maybe the little minifig. So of course, it's a robot. We have already seen one in my Century review 2 weeks ago, but this time his color is not copper, but this time is silver and with some trans blue fade, which is really nice. So I'm gonna just put this part off. Excuse me. As you can see, some trans blue fade on this point. As you can see, really on the back. And a little on the arms, so it looks really beautifully, I have to say. And in fact, the bots, which are called the Devastators, come in three different type of threads. There is the light blue, the trans blue for this one, the trans red for the one which comes in the Thunder Fury set, which I've already reviewed, and the final one which comes in the Sonic Phantom, and which we'll see tomorrow. So yeah, 1 point of articulation per legs, so you can do stuff like that. Then 2 points of articulations per 2 points, of articulation for the arms, which can turn freely, and of course there is this point of articulation for the hand. And no point of articulation for the head itself, of course, which is directly linked to the body. And also no eyes, because you may remember that in the Sonic set, the little bot got some eyes made with a Technic axle, and here it's not the case, in fact. So yeah, sometimes they go put a little axles and sometimes not. So don't really know why, but on this one, no little axle for the eyes. And well, that's also now we're gonna talk about the mecha itself, so the Fire Vulture. So first of all, of course, here's the body frame. So you might recognize it by now, because if you have already saw my my review this past 2 weeks, well, the past week at least, you can. Well, it's the same configuration. This means this part to link the legs, and then some parts which will be which will be useful to link this Technic part, which then be useful to link the body parts. In fact, the cockpit, and here's the little propeller. You can see, because this time it's not a little Technic beam; it's a longer one, a curved one, as you can see, with a little T-shaped part at the end to put the big propeller on the back. Of course, here you can see the clear hosepipe, which will be useful to for the lighter brick things. The lighter brick is here. You can see, of course, it's a 2x4 studs, and it can be linked to any studs without any big problem. In fact, notice the little hole in there, and also the little button. So this one is quite old, so of course it doesn't really light up that much. I guess you can't really see it, but it's light a little. So we're gonna just slide this part right there, and of course put the little clear pipe in the brick, and we are done. Then we're gonna link the side parts. So here we go with the white one, as you can see. So nothing very interesting. Of course, we're gonna use some sloped bricks like this one or this one on the side. This one is often used, in fact, as the glass, because sometimes it comes in a trans color or trans clear, but this time no, it's used as it is used as a normal brick, as you can see, and it's quite nice because it has it's left some hole in the frame, and it's quite original, I have to admit. Also notice that the color scheme of this mech is quite interesting, because we're gonna find some black, light gray, dark blue, some kind of a little light blue, not really a light blue, but some colors like that, and some light brown, and also some silver color. So really tons of color, but they all mix well, as you will see at the end of the construction. So nothing more interesting. Here you got the part to link the arms. Excuse me. Also notice little pinhole right there, which will be useful later on, and also the pinholes on this side, which will be useful right now, in fact, because we're gonna link these pinholes to these pins. And here we go. Second side part is the same, except for the stickers which change, of course. Here you got the Devastator's head, and here you got the FV, which stands for Fire Vulture. Then we're gonna link the upper section, which is useful to link together the two side parts. So this time is quite different. We're gonna use this long brick with some pins in it, and well, notice also these parts which are not well, you will see later on, in fact. So we're just gonna put the hosepipe through one of the pinhole, then put this part on the back, link it first like that, so not like not on some studs, in fact. So it's a kind of a SNUT technique. So SNUT is an acronym for studs not on the top. And so yes, here we're gonna use some SNUT technique, and then we're gonna put this part in there, and this means, as I've said earlier, there is a pinhole in this part. This means that this part will link this brick and this brick together thanks to the pinhole. This means there is in fact two points of 2 pounds to link these parts together. This means this is a pretty solid build, in fact. Well, so you got some little guns right there, and this part which will be useful to put off the lighter brick. Then we're gonna continue with the cockpit maybe first, which is really simple because it's just this part which can move this way. No pedal control, no glass, so it's quite different from the human side, and it's quite cool, I have to admit, because it has some kind of industrial feeling. Yes, with a little, just some simple. Simple parts. You can imagine that it's just some simple metallic parts and stuff like that, made of steel. So yeah, quite nice. And finally, the propeller. So this is this big part, as you can see right here, which in fact is black with some silver fade. On this side, some articulated section and some technique parts. We're gonna link that to the T-shape part on the back, and we are done with the body frame, with the body section, in fact. The upper body part. Excuse me. Now for the legs, which are in fact quite simple. So again, we're gonna find the three same parts which are useful to articulate the legs, in fact. So 3 parts like that, and then of course we're gonna cover these parts with some bricks. This time it's gonna be pretty quick because here we're gonna put some 2 types of bricks which are usually used on some roof sections, but this time it's on the legs. The same goes for this type of strop brick we have already seen, in the Century set. And finally the feet, which is the foot here, which is made with the same part as a steel fender plus some slop brick on it. So nothing really new, nothing really impressive. It's really a simple leg build, in fact. The same goes for the left one, the left leg, because, well, it's the same, in fact. Yeah, like that. And now for the arms. So first of all, the left arm, which is this one. So we're gonna find the same. It is exactly the same part as here. So the same thing with the same 2 little parts. This time there is the stickers, but apart from that, it's the same. Then some little articulated parts right there, and finally some galley. I'm not sure it's galley closed. It's galley hook, I think. Right there, in fact, some galley matter hook recolored in light gray. Notice also that the 2 galley hooks are linked together thanks to this pinhole. No, this this pin brick, in fact. And then for the right arm, which is more interesting, which is more interesting, yes, because, well, of course, this is the same part right here. Then you got also the articulated part, and then you got the flamethrower, which is really a magnificent piece of design, I have to admit, because it's really well detailed. So you got the little gas tank right here, as you can see, with some hose pipe right there. Then you got the little part here, which unleash some little flame. You can also little valve right there if you want to, I guess, turn the power of the flame itself to make it bigger or less. Well, in fact, it's just imagination, but that is the purpose on a real flamethrower, I guess. And here you got the cannon to shoot it, and then you got this little part to be useful to link the transclear hose pipe. But here you go, the flamethrower, which is really beautifully made. In fact, it's really a real beautiful piece of design, I have to admit. It's one of the most beautiful weapon on the Exoforce Tolan, I think. Seriously, it's not something big which use a big part and stuff like that. It's really used little parts, and it's just pretty detailed, and it's really look good. It's really look good, yes. And we're gonna link the close pipe in this axle hole, which is quite, in fact, weird and not really that useful, because it's supposed to act as a visor, I guess, but who need the visors on a flamethrower? You don't really need something to be precise on a flamethrower. You just fire the flame and see what happens. You don't really need something to be more precise with a flamethrower. So well, by the way, not really that intelligent from Lego, but still. And here you go with the finished model. So yeah, excuse me, it's looks quite all straight, but it's just to show you properly how the model is made. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, like that. And well, we are done with that part. So now for the articulation part. So first of all, the legs, which are nothing really new. It's the same as the other legs. In fact, this means there is 2 points of articulation per section. So 2 points right here, 2 points right there, and 2 points here. So this means 6 points of articulation. One in this way, and the other in this way. The same goes here, there, and for the feet. So this means they can go up and down and on the side, so left and right. So yes, that's all for the legs, and of course they block at 90 degrees at this point with this type of articulation. Then you got the arms, so 2 points of articulation right there. Of course you got the hose pipe, so sometimes it will block the movement because you can't, the pipe is, so yeah, sometimes just block the movement. So 2 points of articulation right there. And 2 points of articulation right here, so this means like that, and yeah, so yeah, you can also turn this little part I have told you, but it's not really a point of articulation. The cockpit can of course open and close, the propeller can turn can kind of turn and also turn on this way. And finally, this arm got the same point of articulation, the same points, excuse me, of articulation than this arm. This means this one on the side, and the same goes here. You can this arm is pretty free. In fact, you can turn it all the way you want. And I think that's quite all. Of course, now you got the light up brick. So as you can see, we got these 2 parts together, which are linked to this little part right there, which is really near to the button of the light up brick. This means that when we're gonna do that, this is gonna push the button and light up the brick, as you can see right here. And of course, the light will go through the clear hose pipe to make the little visor at this point. So when I press it, you can see it a little, it kind of light up, as you can see right here. Yeah, I think you have understood how it works, and now this kind of little antenna, in fact, is used to put off the light up brick when you don't need it or when you want to replace it, so you can put it off really easily. And of course, if you want to put it on again, you just have to make it slide and put it like that. So nothing really new. Yeah, okay. The cockpit just fell off. Yes, I'm not really sure. So yes, it just fell off. So yeah. So that's all. I'm gonna put the little guy in his cockpit, and then I'm gonna do a sum up about this set, and we'll be done. Maybe gonna do some pose with this guy first. Yeah, kind of like that. So first of all, the color scheme, well, as you can see, it's a pretty complex color scheme with tons of colors, but I think it's really great because most of those colors are black, light gray, and well, they mix well with many color schemes, so I think there is no big problem with this type of colors, which are kind of redundant. But then you got, for example, the dark blue, this type of light blue, the kind of a light brown right here. So it's all kind of strange color, but they're really refreshing because even if it's a heavy robot set, it's not all black and dark and gray and stuff like that. It's still got this type of nice color like the dark blue and stuff like that. And I think it's all those colors mix pretty well, and it is a pretty original color scheme in comparison, for example, to the Thunder Fury, which is just black and dark red. So yeah, many colors and really a refreshing color scheme for bad evil set. Yeah, evil robot set, I can say so. Then you got the part selection, so of course you got your usual Exoforce parts. This means all the slop bricks, stuff like that. On this one you got some little parts for the flamethrower, the two little guns on this side, some medical parts with the Galley hooks, the big propeller on the back. So I think it's pretty nice, even if it's not full of parts, because, well, I think the Thunder Fury got more interesting sloped bricks, excuse me. But I think this one is pretty polyvalent. This means it's got a different type of parts for different type of use. So, well, it's okay. Again, a pretty good part selection for instance. Nothing really spectacular, but I think it's okay. After all, I'm not really yeah, I'm not really sure if these parts are really useful or not, or really rare, but still, I think it's an okay part selection. Then you got the construction itself, which is quite interesting because it's of course, even if it uses the same frame as the other middle-sized mech, it's still nice because this upper section is different from the other mechas, and also you got, for example, the propeller to link to the back, and also the flamethrower, which really got his own build, which is really interesting. So yeah, the construction of this model is again really good. Seriously, it's really good because it's different from the other set, and seriously, except maybe for the legs, which are really simple. I mean, seriously, there is not that tons of parts we're gonna link on these legs, as you have seen. Excuse me, there is really not that tons of parts on the legs. It's pretty simple to make them. Seriously, excuse me. But apart from that, it's still very interesting. And then you got the articulations, which are well, there are the normal articulations for some Exoforce sets, so nothing really to talk about. It's nice, it's okay. Sometimes, of course, there is some problem with the hose pipe, which blocks the movement of the flamethrower. But apart from that, so there is no big problem. And then the overall design itself, which, well, the overall design is again pretty good because I mean it's really original. It's maybe even if it's a little bulky, it's not as bulky as the Thunder Fury set. It's got really some original ideas, like for example, it's an aerial mecha, but it don't have any wings. In fact, it just got a big propeller on the back. Then it got still a flamethrower, some hook. The cockpit itself is quite original. The same goes for the side parts. So seriously, the overall design goes pretty well with the color scheme and stuff like that. In fact, it's really an excellent middle-sized mech. It's really original. It doesn't really have any big drawbacks or stuff like that or any big problems. Well, I don't see any big problems, seriously, in my opinion. But seriously, I have to start to say seriously also. It's really a very good mecha. So excuse me when I repeat words and keep on repeating them. So yeah, it's a really good mecha, maybe one of the best from the robot side, I think. Well, I'm gonna just do a little comparison with the Thunder Fury set. So excuse me. Like that. So yeah, the Thunder Fury was really bulky and and well, the big bad guy with some black and dark white color scheme and stuff like that. And well, I think that this one is really the Fire Virtue is really different and really unique in comparison to the Son of Fury. In fact, it's really got its own interesting design. So yeah, I can really recommend you to try to find this set because it's a great one. I think it's really a great one of the best mech from 2006, at least from the first wave. So that's all, guys. I remind you that I've already reviewed the Son of Fury a month ago, so I will not review this guy tomorrow, but instead I will review the Sonic Phantom. So if you want to see the review, just check out, excuse me, my Exoforce video review playlist. And that's all. That's all. So I hope you enjoyed this review on the Fire Virtue. If you have any questions or comments about the set or the review itself, feel free to post them in the comments section of this video. And that's all. So see you later, guys. Bye bye.